You probably know the story of Samson and how he was tricked by his wife, handed over to his enemies, his hairs were cut off, his eyes were pulled out. But at the last moment he received strength again, and he pushed two pillars apart in a Philistine temple and killed many Philistines, including himself. Now, about Samson. He was a judge of Israel. He was anointed. He was what people today would consider a Rasta because he had dreads, very long dreads. He didn't drink any wine. Well, I don't mean Rasta in a sense that he was part of a Rastafari religion because that didn't exist back then. But he was a sober man. You couldn't fool him that easily. But he had one blind spot. Over time, he began to rely on his own strength and his own understanding instead of relying on the guidance of the Holy Spirit. That's how he got involved with Delilah, a Philistine woman. Now, let's get it straight here. This is not about Samson being with a Philistine woman. That's not really the issue. The issue is the type of woman he was with. And this message isn't about sexual relationship, even though you can apply this message to sexual relationships also. What happened here was the following. The Philistines were oppressing the Israelites, and Samson rose up and defeated the Philistines. He brought a lot of financial, economic, and social damage to the Philistines. The Philistines wanted to get rid of Samson. So they realized that this man had a secret. They just didn't know what the secret was. Now, Samson's supernatural strength was seated in his hair. So he knew that he had to keep his hairs long. Now, we all know that eventually he confessed to his wife what his strength is. Early on he didn't do it. But when his wife kept asking, he revealed it. Now hold on here. If your wife asks you a question the first time, and you're not confident to answer it, you mislead her with a parable, then why do you stay with that wife? Obviously, you can't trust her because you know that the strength of your body is seated in your hair. So there was something not correct with Samson's attitude. As I told you before, he began to rely on his own strength. He had this mentality, I got this, even though he didn't have the situation at all. That wife of his was an agent of the Philistine leaders. She was sent into his life to reveal his weakness or to expose his weakness so that the Philistines could use that weakness to bring Samson down. And the moment his weakness was brought down, that wife disappeared. So she came with an assignment. So there was no real love. It was a witch sent his way. Why didn't Samson recognize the danger he was involved in? It's because Samson had success. He had a lot of success. So the success made him feel confident. Okay, there's nothing wrong with feeling confident because you achieved success. But the moment you rely on past success, you're operating in a delusion. Because what you overcame in the past may be similar to what's going on in the present. Nevertheless, today is not yesterday. So there are things today that are different than yesterday. Even though if what's happening today is similar to what happened in the past, you need to be alert. There may be some factor or actor involved that's different than in the past that you're not aware of. So always looking at the bigger picture. To be alert is something you ought to do. And Samson eventually didn't do this. If he did, he would have never gotten involved with a Philistine woman to begin with, because think about it. You are at war with a people that wants to bring you down and your people down. So why would you take the risk to date or even marry a woman from the enemy's camp? Just think about it. Why would you take a risk like that, especially in that time? Didn't Samson conduct an investigation to find out who the woman is he's sleeping with? Didn't he check out who her relatives were? Samson, though with success, he stagnated in his walk by faith. So understand this, believer. Sometimes we feel upset. Sometimes we feel sad, though to the resistance we receive. Because when we receive resistance in the form of affliction or persecution, it affects our results in daily life. And often we are upset and sad because of that. And that's understandable. But just realize that having series of success after each other can be more harmful to your long-term well-being. Why? Because we are human beings, we tend to be short-sighted, and when we receive success after success in a period of time, it tends to distract us from the main fact that we are vulnerable and completely dependent on the Holy Spirit. So without us being aware of it, it doesn't happen consciously, but unconsciously you begin to rely on your own strength. And that is very, very dangerous. So, there are times the Holy Spirit will frustrate your plans and your undertakings. Why? Because the Holy Spirit sees that the moment you succeed over and over again in what you want to do, it will distract you, and this distraction will blind you from obvious dangers that everyone can see without even examining your situation. Because that's the thing, when you have been distracted by success, you'll be blinded from seeing obvious dangers that others can see without even examining your situation. So success can be a trap. Just think about it. Not all success is a blessing. Too often, however, believers dwell on the quote-unquote failure on their part, which wasn't a failure at all. It was God intervening by preventing you from being trapped in self-esteem. A lot of people think that self-esteem is a very important thing. Now, how you feel about yourself is important. But the moment you rely on feeling good about yourself, you are in danger. Because now you need to maintain that good feeling about yourself. And when you're focused on maintaining that good feeling about yourself, based on your achievement, you are in idolatry. Now you're not focused on Christ. Now you can't examine situations the way you should, because you're so focused on being at ease with yourself. You're so focused on seeking relief from unease. So success is not always a blessing. Okay? There's nothing wrong with succeeding, but if the success you receive or the success you operate in causes you to be blind over time, then it's a curse in disguise. So understand this, believer. There are curses in disguise that Satan will hand out to you. And because those curses in disguise will require your effort to maintain them, you think that you succeed. But the context, the situation, was orchestrated by the enemy. The enemy used bait to trick you. And because you were triggered and you went for the bait, once you received the bait or you succeeded in possessing the bait, or you succeeded in whatever the situation is, you think it's you. You think it's you that took the opportunity. You think it's you that use your own strength and your own understanding to make the best of the situation, which from your point of view may be true. I'm not saying you're wrong. Okay, so even if you took advantage of the situation, who brought the situation? Listen, you can take advantage of a situation to make the best of it, but who brought that situation? If God didn't bring that situation, that means demons did. And if demons brought the situation, knowing that you are a positive-minded individual that takes good advantage of situations, then why did they bring that situation to you knowing you would take good advantage of it? Why would demons want you to take good advantage of anything? They will use your good attitude against you. That's why they generate situations. They use people to create circumstances to trigger you to take good advantage of them, because those circumstances are sent your way to destroy you in the long run. It's not an instant homicide that demons do. It's a delayed homicide. What I mean is, demons generate a situation, send it your way, knowing that you will do the right thing, but you doing the right thing is what they want, so that you're trapped in that situation. That situation will drain you over time, leading to depletion of your joy, depletion of your happiness, depletion of your mental health, depletion of your bodily health, and eventually you become ineffective to do God's will, and you're dragged in the mud, you're dragged in misery, you die before your time without realizing your full potential on the earth as God intended it to be. That is what demons do, delayed homicide. It is homicide, but because there is a time frame, not time frame, but because there is a delay in the manifestation of the homicide, you don't really see it's homicide. Yes, demons kill people, but they seldom do it instantly through other people. It's more effective to kill people over time, because then they don't even notice that there is danger. So, not all success comes from God. If you have this mentality that you want to make something of your life, that you want to make the best of situations, that's a good attitude. But examine the situation. Who brought the situation to you? Was it God? Oh, you're not sure if it's God? Then likely it's not God. Oh, if it's not God, it means it's evil spirits. That means evil spirits wants to bait you into self-destruction. You want me to give an example? Okay. Let's say that you are in the public transport and there is this couple, and it seems as if the girl is resisting the boy, or the wife is resisting the husband. And it seems as if the wife is uncomfortable around the man. Now, let's say your instinct is triggered, thinking, okay, this is sexual assault, I'm going to defend the woman, and you get involved. You want to do the right thing, and you see the woman is uncomfortable, and the man continues, so you think, okay, I need to do something about this. This is not correct. Maybe you're right, but look at the bigger picture. Why doesn't she just walk away from the guy? She's in a public transport, right? She can just walk away. If she walks away openly, and the guy comes after her, it's obvious to everyone. Why does she stay with the guy over there? So somewhere she's codependent. Secondly, couples in the world often have their conflicts, their fights, and they're back together as if nothing ever happened. But you, at that moment, you see something doesn't add up and you're triggered to do the right thing. And you stop the husband or the boyfriend. Later, you have 3 guys that come after you, they beat you up, and you end up in a hospital. You're now paralyzed for life. You can't walk. You now need to use a wheelchair. And what does the police find out? Those 3 men were 3 friends by that guy you corrected in that public transport. And what do you know? That guy is still with that same woman that was complaining publicly. what happened here? Demons knew that you are the type of man that's programmed to stand up for women and do what society told you is correct. Demons knew that you lacked the discernment to look at the bigger picture. So demons knew that you take the train after work to home. So one day, when demons knew, okay, he's going to take the train at 6:30, so the demons arranged a couple to step in the train just after you step in at 6:30. The demons caused them to walk to the place where you are, and the demons caused them to feel uncomfortable and for a fight to occur. The situation was brought to you by the demons to trick you into self-destruction. Now, you did not literally destroy yourself, but because you thought that you had to do the right thing. Maybe it was for you to do the right thing, but there are times you shouldn't do the right thing, but you should do the best thing. And because you didn't have the discernment to do the best thing, which is just to walk away from the situation, you're now in a wheelchair. And you can get out of the wheelchair, but now you're hindered in many other aspects of your life. There was this believer one time. Well, at the time, he was not a believer. He wasn't born again yet. He wanted to stop a drunk man in public from harassing women openly. So he addressed the man. But then the drunk man told him, come fight with me, come fight with me. And suddenly, even though the guy wasn't a believer yet, he walked away. When he entered the tram, he saw that other guy in another tram with a 40-centimeter knife waving at him, looking in a very psychopathic way. And the people in the other tram, where the drunk man was with a large knife, they freaked out. So, what was going on there? Demons knew that this young man back then was trained by society to always stand up for women no matter what. Demons knew this man was short-sighted, so demons generated a situation where he would endanger himself without being aware of it. If he would have just walked away and realized that those women were grown adults able to walk away, if he would have left the situation alone, he would have been far better off. But now, he almost lost his life. He was not aware that the drunk man had a 40-centimeter knife with him. But apart from doing the right thing, let's say that you are opportunistic, not in a negative way. You don't want to exploit anyone, but you want to take every opportunity and make the best of it. One day, you get an offer. Or you don't get it directly, but you see advertisements about purchasing shares in Chinese corporations. Because in China, there are corporations coming up, but they want Western people to invest in them. So you think, okay, for 50 euros, I can purchase a share. So you do it. When demons find out that you purchased a share, they think, okay, the bait worked. So then the demons cause that small business to make a lot of profit. So now the 50 euro you invested is now worth 40,000 euro. So you then realize, my share is worth 40,000 euro? And then demons also cause news reporters to say that a big economic crisis may come soon, so it's better to sell your shares now. So then you hear this, and it triggers you to sell your share because you think, okay, I work a part-time job, I don't earn that much, and I risked investing 50 euros. The 50 euros turned into 40,000. If a crisis comes and the value of the share drops, then I've lost an opportunity. So, from your human perspective, you did the right thing by selling the share. So now you have 40,000 euros for yourself. But now you may ask, why did demons do this? Why did demons trick you into purchasing a share? And why did demons cause the share to increase in value? Why would demons even want to help you out financially to begin with? Here's where the trap is. When you have the 40,000 euros, you invest it in yourself. You start your tiny business online, and from there, you generate a better income. And once you have a better income, suddenly, you have all these women that show interest in you. They don't know you have money. Because instead, the 40,000 euros didn't remain 40,000. You invested it, and now you have around 200,000 euros. You have your own house, your own car, but you pretend to work from 9 to 5. You play it smart. You don't want people to know that you have a small fortune. And those women don't know it either. But because those women are defective, evil spirits can use them. So those women suddenly feel attracted to you without them knowing why. And you think, okay, I need to watch out because those women may be gold diggers. And then demons send one woman your way who doesn't act like the others, so you think, okay, this one is good. And this one is codependent, who can't keep her mouth shut, and she will be the one revealing to others that you have money, and before you know it, you have people that are envious and angry towards you, and now you have criminals that want to rob you. So without you being aware of it, your life is endangered. So what happened here? It was delayed homicide. The demons tricked you in a situation that would bring fatal side effects and after effects to you. Now, in this case, you couldn't have known that it were demons, because in this case the demons made the project quite complicated. So it wasn't that obvious that it was a trap. But for those that walk by faith, when you walk by faith, you pray all the time, you pray without ceasing, when prayer is part of your lifestyle, even situations that look very innocent and promising, when you sense that something is not right with that situation, believer, it's your radar going off. Something is not right with that situation. Because demons disguise their traps very well. Demons use layers of distraction to hide their traps. For example, let me say like this, in the example I just gave on to you, of that guy purchasing a share, which led to him having 40,000 euros, which he invested. He got a small fortune. He got a fiancé who eventually triggered violence against him. The moment he saw that advertisement of purchasing a share in Chinese businesses, how could he have known that that was a layer of distraction that would lead to criminals wanting to harm him? And how could he have known that eventually it was a female that would be used to trigger people against him? How could he have gotten all of that from just seeing that advertisement? He wouldn't. But that's the difference between someone that's renewed in their mind and someone that's not. Someone that's renewed in their mind, they are in prayer all the time. So anytime demons send a situation to them, they feel unease. And people that are renewed in their mind, contrary to just churchgoers, when they sense that unease about the situation, they begin to look around them. Churchgoers follow the doctrines of church, which traps them. Look, I'm not telling you to become paranoid and to expect the worst in every situation. No, just be alert. And ladies who are listening to this, Satan will also use other women to trap you. Satan will also use men to trap you. So this message isn't just for men, it's for all believers, male and female believers. Whenever you sense unease with a situation, it may not be that the individuals involved have anything against you, nor that they're plotting against you. But it can be that there are demons behind them that are using them, and those demons are plotting against you using them. So don't be like Samson. Don't be blinded by success stories of yourself. If you have a success story, be happy about it. Just be happy, but don't rely on it. And that's why Satan always uses smooth success when he wants to blind people. Worldly people are often blinded by the smooth success of someone else. They want a smooth success also. And in wanting the smooth success, they are already blinded. So, always look at the bigger picture. Check the context. Be at peace.